Hi, welcome. In the light of the Firemaw V2 PTR realm, you will have to grab a new client. Now there has been a lot of questions regarding how to do this, and we have provided a download link, but not everyone's been able to use it. And so I figured I'd just make a quick tutorial on how to actually grab the client directly from Blizzard servers and actually patch it manually. It is fairly simple, and it beats having to download a torrent and expose your IP and all that stuff for nasty stuff. So yeah, now let's get on with it. So first of all, you're gonna want to download a RAR file that I will be posting down in the description box, and from there you'll get a bunch of files. So you'll get all of these and you'll get all of these. Now they will be in the same folder, but I'd try to separate them, so you just start up with these ones and just leave these one in a placeholder folder, because you will need these, but you don't really necessarily need them right now. So first of all, we're going to move, as I mentioned earlier, all these files over to here, and we're going to run the client downloader. Now what this is going to do is that it's going to download all the base files that you're going to need in order to set up the game. So yeah, and this process is fairly simple and it's super fast, and you will not have to like go in and edit a bunch of stuff. You might have to edit a couple of things, but again, it's not that much. So I figured this would actually be a simpler thing to do. So when that is done, you're gonna want to remove everything that has client downloader in front of it. Now you're gonna move the wild regeneration over here. I'm gonna run that, and that's fine, we'll drive it anyway. And now you're gonna have to choose what kind of a language type you want. Now, I generally go with ENGB because I'm Europe based, but you can also go with ENUS if you like that more, or even any other language. Let's say you're Dutch, then you do DD or DD. So we're gonna type 03, that's for ENGB, and we're also gonna do 01 because that's for Windows. You can get this from Mac as well, as you can see, but I am not entirely sure if we have supportance for the patcher to actually allow Mac users to join, but it is a possibility, and I will get back to you on that. But for now, Windows. So right now, what it's gonna do, it's gonna just download every single file that is required to run the game. This will eventually be a full client, so you actually won't have to sit and wait and download all over the time, because back in the days when Cataclysm actually started downloading with their what's it called, minimal client, which is like a streaming client, you actually just download, like, let's say 100 megabytes of a client, and then you would be able to play just like that. But that would impact the performance and the overall game playing experience. Now this is not the case. Here you download all the necessary files, which is up to, I think it's actually up to like 25 gigabytes, which is pretty much the full client. You're missing some small details and nitpicky files here and there, but it's not much at all. But once this is done, we will continue with the rest of the video. After that, WoW Regeneration EXE has completed its task. You can go ahead and delete that. And at this point, you might notice that you have only one WoW EXE, and this is the 32 bits. But you're thinking that, well, hey, I want to run this on 64 bits because barely any computers nowadays run on 32 bits. And for that, you'll need to download an additional EXE from down in the description, and simply just open that file, and it will look like this, and you will have to drag and drop everything except for the URL. I will actually not include the URL because you don't need it. You'll drag that there and drop it there. You can go ahead and just close that. Now you will have to move the connection patcher. You will go ahead and move that over here, and you will start by actually renaming this to deprecated, because we're not going to use this, and we never want to launch this, like, ever. You never want to run this one, because what that does is start updating you towards the latest game version, which is Shadowlands, and that you can't connect if you have those files. So what you're going to do, just for 32 and 64 bits compatibility, you will go ahead and drag and drop the WoW exe on top of the connection patcher. You'll see that I will type a lot of text, and when it gets to successfully created your patch binaries, you'll go ahead and just click enter to remove it. You'll do the same thing with the 64 bits version, and just wait until it's done. There you go. What you can do now is you can delete the original WoW exe and WoW 64 exe, but you will also delete the battle.net 64 DLL and battle.net DLL. As you can see, we've got new patched versions here. So I will target them and I will delete them. What I will do after that is I will just remove the underscore patched part because, well, the client requires it because it has prefixes to, you know, this one knows that it needs to connect to this one, but this one, it knows that it needs to connect to this one, but with the 64 characters, that 64 number in it. And if it has underscore patched, it's not going to be able to find it. So there we go. Give me a brief second. Dun, dun, dun. Yep. After that, you will also want to move the wow.m file into that folder. This is just basically a file that tells the client where to get the rest of the like, let's say, client files and all that stuff. And this is directly to Blizzard's servers. So you will also want to move these ones in here. I'm not 100% sure if these are required here, but it's good to have them here, because let's say you actually play Shadowlands like retail, you will have to move also a copy of these into your battle.net launcher folder. Alright, so what you can do now is just move the WoW mfile into this folder, which you can see that I've already done. And now you can go ahead and run the WoW 64 bits client. It will say fail to download data, please check the network connection, but there is a simple solution to this. So you want to open this mfile, you want to take a look at that. Yeah, that did change back to some things that it shouldn't, but you want to go into the folder called WTF and config WTF. You want to place set patchlist 127 001 set portal 127 001. You're going to go ahead and save that. You're going to go back, open the mfile WoW mfile thing, and you want to open the one that is provided in the download. And now you just want to copy paste and, you know, just replace this like so. Now you can close it. And now try to run the WoW exe 64 bits, and let's see if it boots up. It should pop up with another box here now. There you go. And when it comes to this, just let it finish what it's starting. Let's have a look. There you go. You got the client up and running, loud as always, just the way Blizzard does it. And you might be thinking that this background is a bit different. Well, it's pretty easy to fix that. You just close the program and reopen it. It's just the first initial setup that does that. And there you go, the iconic Deathwing. Now after all of that is done, you're going to want to open up the WTF folder and config WTF. And then you're going to go over to our Discord server and into the general chat and check the pinned messages, and you're going to want to type in this. You're going to replace patchlist and portal with this. So set patchlist play PTR at pathofclassic.com, set portal play PTR play pathofclassic.com. We're going to save it and make sure that you have an account registered on the ptr.pathofclassic.com, and you should be set to go. Whenever you log into the game, you're going to want to use your user, like your email, not your username, because this client, the only reason why we switched this client is because this has SRP6 compatibility, and which goes in par with something called BNet servers instead of the old Authenticator server. this new service system is is much more secure and it's a lot better. So yeah, after you do all of that, just log in using your email, and you should be able to beta test or alpha test the Firemaw V2. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you guys were able to set this up properly. And yeah, have fun on Firemaw V2.